a huge misunderstanding that most people make on semen retention or nofap, whatever you want to call it, is that they think that like semen retention is just about like, you know, not fapping or whatever and not watching porn, which, you know, if you boil it down to its simplest form, I guess you could say yes, but it's not just that. It's more of like this complete mindset shift is how you see yourself. And look, these kind of videos, they sound really spiritual, and I try to refrain like away from like the really spiritual stuff because I'm not really religious and I don't want to give that impression I'm like this religious preacher or whatever. Okay, if you are, it's whatever, okay, I don't mind, but I just prefer not to go down that route. But like, semen retention is not like just about counting days or just being like, oh, you know what, like, you know, girls find me attractive now. It's like, it's how you see yourself internally. It's how you sort of view and feel about yourself. From first being able to read, write and listen and understand and everything, we all have beliefs that have been put into us without it being our fault. And some of those beliefs are good and some are just like crap and are garbage, okay? And a lot of them come from our parents, come from our family, friends, or nowadays, if I can know, like kids have got like an iPad in their hands from the age of like 3 years old or even younger. And you see a lot of social media and telling you what to believe in, telling you who's in the right or the wrong, telling you what's going on in the world, even though half of it's bullshit, right, and half of it's just lies. But the things that semen retention does to you, it sort of makes you question all your beliefs, thinking like, oh, well, I've always thought this way about something, but like, is that actually true? And you kind of like develop your own pair of balls, which is like a really like nice thing. I don't know why I said like that, but you know, you develop your own sort of awareness. You think like, you know what, do I actually believe this? Because all my life I've been told this one thing, saying like, you know, the earth is flat, for example, but now I've got evidence based on my own research that the earth is round. And it's not the best example, but you kind of get what I'm saying, is that some of these beliefs can actually really hold you back from truly living your pure, like, authentic, like, and free life. Like, before, I never really understood about like business, and I thought like, oh, business isn't for me because it sounds too like intelligent, you've got to be really smart. You really don't have to be like a super smart guy for business. And when I say like business, it gets like a bad rep or like a really boring rep, because it's like the word business, it sounds like too like corporate and it sounds like hard work. And you know, it can be a bit hard work, but it's more just persistence of like continuously putting in reps after reps after reps. And for me, business is just this YouTube channel. And something that really made me sort of like reframe my mindset around this is that with semen retention, being on semen retention, is that it's actually not as hard as you make it out to be. Nothing in life is as difficult as you think it is, right? Because we all have a brain, right? And our brain scans data for anything that's potentially harmful or dangerous, that's going to waste our time, or anything that's, you know, any kind of uncertainty or pain that we could get from it, we want to avoid it. So what do? We avoid things like the gym. You know, no wonder most people are obese or underweight. We avoid things like talking to girls because, oh, no, that's dangerous because you don't get humiliated. What if they say no? What if they say I have a boyfriend? What if they publicly humiliate me? You know, what if we do other things like start a business and it fails? So we wasted so much time there. And again, once you're on semen retention, you don't really think about this so much. You have less doubts. You always have this mindset of like, you know what, I am going to push through this. And it's like this effortless discipline. It's like this discipline that just comes naturally without having to sort of like, you know, feel as if you're really lacking it. And I find this really hard to put things into words in this video because you have to really like be on the semen retention journey to fully understand. But what I'm telling you is that even now, take the case of like retaining, okay? It might seem hard to quit porn right now because you're addicted, right? Obviously, especially if you had it for like 10 plus years, that's going to be hardwired into your brain and into your body to react to those kind of things. So when you see those pixels on the screen of naked, you know, 10 out of 10 models, it's like you're going to be wired to get aroused by that because it teaches you, oh, this is what sex is, even though it's completely not. And that, you know, it's not, you know, they teach like, oh, this is what love is as well, and it's not. Same with OnlyFans models. It's fake intimacy, it's fake romantic sort of relationships or whatever. It's not real. And because we've been programmed for it this long, we think, okay, this is what we're supposed to expect. And when we relapse and then we go back to a normal life and realize how we don't have that level of intimacy or that kind of like extreme hardcore porn in our life, we think, fuck, I'm like a complete loser. I feel really shameful. We feel anxious. We feel lonely all the time. And we just constantly reaffirming to ourselves that we are a loser because we don't have like this utopia that we've created for ourselves. When you start seeing retention, you've been on it for a couple of weeks, you stop treating your own body and mind as a slave, and you start seeing yourself as someone who's actually taking back control of your entire life. And that's taking control over your own actions as well. Whereas before you feel like, oh, the government controls everything, I can't do anything, I have no sort of control in my life, oh, I'm just going to play video games and jack off every day and eat junk food and all that because, well, at least that's what I know I have control over, right? At least I know that's comfortable. But it's not, because at some point you will get fed up of it, right? I mean, surely you have to. Some people just, they will always be fucking like video gamers for the rest of their life. And look, I now and again play video games. I haven't, well, to be fair, I haven't played video games in God knows how long. It must have been weeks. And it's not like I haven't got the urge to play them, but the urge of wanting to grow a business has just been that much stronger because of I have had that mindset shift of like, well, I have bigger priorities now. That's why porn is literally like bottom of the list of like priorities. Even if I have nothing else to do in my day, I will find something else, because porn is literally, it's not even obviously a priority, but it's that far down on the list of things that I can do that I don't even consider it now when I'm bored. Because I've gone that long, it gets easier and easier. You have to pull yourself out of the trenches first of all. I mean, when you quit any addiction, right? And look, quitting drugs and smoking and alcohol are all different in terms of how you should quit safely. So don't take my advice literally in terms of other addictions, like alcohol especially, because I know alcohol withdrawal can be very severe if not done properly. But in terms of porn addiction, you can literally like ditch that fucking thing overnight if you really wanted to. Honest to God, I'm not kidding you, right? And again, you don't have to count days or track whatever, right? You can just fucking say like, I've had this shit, right? Because if you have enough pain to stay in the same way you are right now and to keep this addiction, then you will change. And you also have to have a lot of pleasure to quit, and you need to have a lot of pleasure thinking, you know what? There's only pluses to this. But the main thing humans do is we like to avoid pain, as much pain as possible. Yes, we want to gain as much pleasure as possible, but the main thing is we're not causing ourselves pain, because if we truly, wanted more pleasure than to avoid pain, then we would actually go up to girls and talk to them and cold approach them and, like date them. But no, the fear of rejection, the pain, is going to be way worse. But when you have this mindset shift, you don't really think as much in that. You almost sort of like embrace the challenge. You think like, oh, that's quite uncomfortable. Let's fucking do it. And you just kind of laugh. I just laugh to myself when I do it. I feel bold as well. I just feel like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk to that girl. Like it's, I'm getting these kind of urges. I get these sort of thing. I'm feeling a bit tense. And usually I'll tell myself, oh, that's because you're nervous. It's because you're this. It's because you're that. It's because you're a loser. But now I just say like, no, you know what? I'm excited. All these urges I get, these strong urges, I'm excited. I really want to do this. I want to go to the gym. I want to, drop down, do 10 push-ups or work on my business. Like this mindset shift is completely fucking like OP. And it's only once you've been on this for a while. So you're thinking now, Evan, like, okay, well, if this is great, right? But I can't get past like fucking day 2 of like no fap. Well, this is where coming out of the trenches or pulling yourself out of the trenches is completely on you. If this addiction is that bad, then you would not want to do it, right? Again, you're addicted, right? So you're going to be wired to go back to it all the time. But surely you can keep yourself busy for a few days. Surely you can go out with friends, or you can do something else. You can start a business. And again, start a business might be like, the harder part to do first, like, making YouTube content. Start small. And again, going to the gym is a really good one, because exercise and you just feel better anyway, and there's only like pros to exercising. But you need to create a plan for yourself, and it doesn't have to be really extravagant. It just has to be big enough so that you have this mindset shift as soon as possible, thinking, you know what, I can achieve anything. If I put my mind to it, I can achieve anything. The reason why I feel low energy, why I don't believe myself, is all because of porn, right? And once you understand that it's because of that, you can then free yourself of this then. Even though the next few days, you just tell yourself, okay, these next few days are going to be a bit tricky. They're going to be a bit challenging and difficult. But that's because I've been hardwired to want this addiction. And again, this drug addiction will only want to keep you in there more and more and more relapsing, because it's a spiral, right? Like there's this whole point in drug addictions is the fact that drug, once you consume it, the whole function of it is to make you more addicted and dependent on that one drug to give you the only source of pleasure or comfort or safety, when really it doesn't give you any safety at all. It just confirms to you that you are a loser. So semen retention isn't just about nofap, it's a complete mindset shift. And whilst this isn't like a really sexy thing to say, because most people want to hear like, oh, you know, you become a chicks magnet and everything. It's like, well, look, I'm sure that comes later down the line, but that doesn't come without the mindset change first, that you were, you know, more willing to go and approach women, that you're more willing to go to the gym and to develop a fucking aesthetic physique. I'm pointing here as if I've got like one. I mean, I've got a decent physique, but it's nothing to scream about. I mean, some guys would probably want to be in my position, let's say, but I haven't got like a, you know, a sanely jacked physique. But when you have that mindset of you feel like you're fucking powerful, other people will click onto that, other people will notice your vibe. And again, you don't have to say anything. It's not like, you know, you're trying to pose yourself with the Conor McGregor walk or like some kind of person that you're not, because you're not trying to fake anything. You're just literally living it. You're just living it with a bit more pizzazz in your life. And again, that will be noticeable, because girls especially, they notice the little changes in men. And even if it's only perceived change, like even if they only just perceive that you're like a high value top 1% guy or whatever, that will be enough. Like that'll be enough to sort of like show them. And look, getting attraction from girls is like really new to me. It's like I'm getting very little sort of like opportunities or moments of it, mainly because I don't really like socialize that much right now. I'm just really busy. I mean, I'm outside, I'm doing things as well, but I've just got so much shit in my life right now, and it's going really well. I'm enjoying it, but I'm just starting to get back into the gym now, and you know, I'm starting to notice little differences. And I say I've never been such a social butterfly before, but I just make friends in the gym all the time now. I asked if he can spot me. I made a guy friend the other day. He's amazing, man. And honestly, like, you just make friends all the time. Next time you go into the gym, oh, hi, you right, how's it going? And you just build on that. And it's just literally just existing. It's doing normal human shit behavior. But because of all the generations, because all the generations have gone by, we've become more and more losers and fucking wimps, right? Everything in life seems so much harder, even though we've got so many more things accessible to us nowadays. Like, we've got so much technology available to us. We've got so many apparatus and resources, and the economies are better, like, in a lot of countries now than they were before. Like, fucking hell, honestly, like, yeah, we have all this, yet we still struggle so much, if not more, to create, you know, meaningful connections. That's basically what I want to tell you about. It's more than just nofap, it's a mindset shift. If you're not already, become a member of my school or academy, and as always, remember why you're doing this.